Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're actually going to be building in StrangerVille and we're actually building for my save file. So I haven't done a build for my save file in, it's probably been a couple of weeks since the last time I did a build for it. But yeah, I am still working on my save, even though the first version is already out. I'll leave a link on the screen to my overview video that I did for that. But yeah, so even though the first version is already out, I obviously am working on the second version and working more on it and everything like that. So yeah, today we're actually building in StrangerVille and we're actually building in the, but like on the library lot, so like the StrangerVille Information Center lot, which, you know, it sounds very fancy, but it's basically just a library. So yeah, I kind of originally I thought about like turning this lot into maybe like a park or, you know, something else gameplay wise, because I didn't think that, you know, I don't personally use libraries in my gameplay all that much. But with the way StrangerVille works, with, you know, the storyline that they have set up for it and all of that stuff, you kind of need a library lot for, you know, that storyline, you know, the same way that you kind of like actually need a bar in the world for that storyline. So I do already have a bar built for this world that I did years ago, but I'll leave that linked probably on the screen. I do have like a rebuilding StrangerVille playlist as well, which I'll leave linked with all of my builds for StrangerVille. I've actually done quite a few. I didn't realize that I've done as many as I have, but I think I only have maybe like, I think 2 lots left. Yeah, I think I have, yeah, 2 lots in that upper, like, you know, I almost said balcony, but on that upper, like, plateau, fancier houses area. I only have 2 lots left up there that I have to do, and then all of StrangerVille will be done, which I'm actually really surprised about. So yeah, there's quite a few videos in that playlist if you want to go ahead and check it out. But yeah, so obviously this build is a little bit of a longer one as well. If you guys saw, this is a almost like just over 30-minute speed build. But with the pictures and everything like that, it's more around like 33-34 minutes. So yeah, we're in for quite a like long voiceover. But that actually worked out really well, because obviously it's a library, so I can't really talk too much about it. There's no like family that I can describe or talk about, or, you know, anything like that. I don't have a particular storyline for it or anything. But since we did have the Sims Growing Together live stream on Friday, I actually decided that this voiceover would be the perfect time to like give you all my thoughts, share my thoughts, do a little bit of a like information dump kind of thing with, you know, everything that I noticed, everything that I've, you know, found out, saw, all of that stuff. And then we can talk about all of it here in this voiceover, because like I said, very long voiceover. So I figured that would be the perfect place to do it, especially because I didn't do a like live stream recap or anything like that, because it was a really long live stream. It was like 2.5 hours. So honestly, I did not feel up to editing that down and trying to do some sort of recap video. I know a couple of great YouTubers have actually done recap videos that are like 15 minutes long, and they take you through all of like the important info, which I will leave their videos linked in the description in case you know, maybe haven't seen the live stream, or, you know, you don't really have time to like rewatch the VOD, or, you know, maybe you want a video that doesn't have me talking about it. That's also totally fine. Then yeah, I will leave all of that linked in the description. But before we get too into that, I do want to remind you guys, because this is going up on Sunday, but I do have a giveaway running until tomorrow. So Monday the 6th of March at 10 AM Pacific time is when the giveaway closes. But for that giveaway, I will have like 2 winners, and each one of those winners will get a Sims 4 game pack of their choice. So I will have a entry link down below in the description if you want to go ahead and enter that giveaway. I'll also have a video down below and probably on the screen as well that I did for my 5-year YouTube anniversary last weekend, where I talked a little bit more about this giveaway And I'm also doing a shell challenge and a Q&A for, you know, my 5-year YouTube anniversary. So I talk a lot more about those things in that video in case you want to go ahead and check it out. But the cliff notes, basically, there's a shell up on my gallery. You can find it by searching for hashtag ChrissieShell5, I think, or Chrissie5Shell. Either way, I'll have the correct hashtag up on the screen. But you can search for that hashtag or just go to my gallery page, which is ChrissieYT, and you can find the shell up there. And then basically standard shell challenge rules, you know, don't change my walls, but you can turn it into anything you want. You can use any lot, any packs, anything like that. And then I will obviously be touring a couple of your builds and taking a look at them and all of that stuff here on the channel. So the shell challenge ends on March 26th. So you guys still have almost a month left, and it ends quite a bit after the new Growing Together pack actually comes out on the 16th. So if you wanted to wait for the new pack to like build like some sort of family home or something like that, then you do have like 10 days before the shell challenge ends to do that. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check all of that out. And speaking of the shell challenge, this is kind of like really silly, but I totally fangirled when I saw this. But Devin Bumpkin actually did my shell challenge. I'll leave his video linked below because I basically, like, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw his thumbnail with my shell in it, and I freaked out. He's one of my absolutely favorite YouTubers, and he's one of those like comfort YouTubers to me. So whenever I have like a bad day or something, then watching his videos like instantly cheers me up. So yeah, I will leave, like I said, his video linked down below because he did such an amazing job with my shell, and I was blown away. But yeah, so that's basically everything apart from like the Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them here on this video or on the 5-year YouTube anniversary video, and then I'll answer them in a future video. So yeah, if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them. But speaking, a random side track, but it just started raining. I can hear it right now, and I'm so sorry if my mic picks that up. I really hope it doesn't, but it just started raining like really loudly, and it's thundering for some weird reason. It's been like super sunny all day, and now that I'm sitting down to record, it's decided to do this. So I do apologize if my voiceover, like if you can hear it. I think you probably can hear it, but I'm really hoping you can't. But obviously I can't do anything about it. So yeah, I do apologize, but I need to get this voiceover done. So we'll just have to deal with that. But yeah, so that's basically everything about, you know, the build and, you know, everything else that I wanted to talk about. Now, moving on to the like live stream and stuff that they mentioned in the live stream. So the rest of this video will probably just be me fangirling about like everything that they showed. That live stream was so cool and so good. They showed off so many things, and the gurus also answered a bunch of questions over on Twitter as well after the live stream and everything like that. So honestly, I can't even cover all of the information in this video. I just don't have the time in this voiceover, and also there's just so much that I know I missed some things. So basically, let's start off. This is going to be a very like not scripted part of the voiceover, but I do have like extensive notes next to me that I wrote down, because I wanted to make sure that I don't give you guys any wrong information or anything like that. So yeah, I have a lot of notes that I will be reading and like talking about and stuff like that. But first off, they did actually show off a couple of base game things, because obviously on the 14th of March, which is 2 days before the expansion pack releases, we're going to be getting the Infants update. Now, that update is going to be big. It's going to be a huge update. It's going to change so much. They're adding a whole new life state to the game, or like it's not a state, it's like a life stage to the game. And the last time that they did this was with toddlers way back in 2017, I think. So it's been a while, and it's a huge update. So just a little PSA, if you use mods of like any kind, I'm talking gameplay mods, build mods, cast mods, not custom content. I don't think will break. Maybe like default skins or stuff might break. But like if you use the more columns mod or the tool mod or anything like that, which all of those mods are things that I personally use and rely on a lot. But if you use any of those mods, and like gameplay mods obviously, but if you use them, expect them to break. They will break. I can like almost 100% guarantee that like 99% of mods will be breaking with that patch because it's a huge one. They're adding a new life stage, They're adding like changes to preferences and like UI changes. They're changing the way the social menu actually is organized. So they're like reorganizing the social menu and splitting it up into categories, which is actually really cool. I probably can't explain it very well, but it looks really cool and it's going to make gameplay so much like smoother and like socializing and stuff so much smoother once we actually get used to it. So yeah, they're changing those things. And the reason that I say that default skins might break is because they're actually updating newborn skin tones. So when I say newborn, I mean the object babies that we currently have in the game, the ones that are basically tied to a bassinet. They're kind of like objects. So that's what I mean by newborn. And when I say infant, I'm talking about the new life stage that they're going to be adding. So you go from being a baby to being an infant to being a toddler and then a child and, so on and so forth. So it is a whole new life stage. But they're going to be updating newborn like skin tones. So currently we only have 3 skin tones for newborns. They have like a light, medium, and a dark skin tone. But with this update, they'll actually have access to all of the skin tones that we have in game. So all of those different skin tones that we have for regular Sims, they'll actually have access to them. So their genetics will be a lot more like accurate, obviously, because, if you have, maybe one parent that's a little bit darker skin toned and another one that's lighter, their baby, like the newborn, will actually be a more accurate mix of the two, if that makes sense. So that's really cool. They'll also be updating eye color genetics for newborns. So like default eyes or CC eyes might also break, because now newborns will actually have like proper eye colors like regular Sims do. They'll also be changing the way newborns, like not really how they work, but how they're animated a little bit. So their animations have been tweaked a little bit to make them look a little bit younger, like make their movements look a little bit younger. And they've also like updated some of the interactions that your Sims can do with newborns. So not just like adult Sims, but also they've added stuff to kids and toddlers so they can like talk to the babies and stuff like that. And then they've added a bunch of new interactions as well. And they're also tweaking the ages. Now, this ages fix, or not fix, but like tweak or whatever, I don't know if this is a base game thing. I mean, obviously with the newborns, I'm guessing the ages, like the whole ages like change that they're making is going to be base game, because it's tied to infants as well, and infants will be base game. So basically it means that newborns, their life stage will be shorter, and then all of the other life stages, like all of the other ages, are being made a little bit longer, so that you can like properly like get to know your Sims and develop things with your Sims, which I will get into. So yeah, that's kind of a pain for me personally. Like, I like the idea behind it and it will be really useful, but it's a pain when you think about how many Sims I have in my save file, for example, that I will now have to go back through and re-update all of their ages. And I literally just did that when High School Years came out, and they also changed some of the ages for some of the Sims, like teenagers, like young adults and adults, I think. So now I'm going to have to go back into all of them and change their ages again to make it make a little bit more sense. So that's a lot of pain and work for me behind the scenes. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, obviously the newborn update, they're obviously adding infants. Now, infants is a really big thing. I'm probably not going to talk about everything, but going from like Creator Sim, you can create infants in Creator Sim. They're like toddlers, for example. You can create them in Creator Sim. You can fully customize them, all of that stuff. They are adding some new hairstyles and clothes and stuff like that for infants into the base game so that, you know, you have some things for them. Some of the items like hairstyles and clothing and stuff are like converted from toddlers, but some of them are completely new. And then obviously in the new Growing Together pack, they're adding a bunch more stuff for infants. Same thing with build buy mode as well. So in the base game, they're adding obviously like the necessities for infants. They're adding, I think, 4 new cribs for infants, and I think one of them can actually be upgraded into a toddler bed, so your Sims can actually upgrade them into a toddler bed. One of them is portable, so like a little carrier crib type thing. So there's 4 of those cribs. You also have a new toddler bed that they're adding that matches one of the cribs, and they're also adding a new bassinet, which is really cute. I love the way that looks. This is like the first, I guess, normal sim bassinet that they've added since the base game came out in 2014. We've gotten like occult bassinet, so like for vampires and aliens and stuff, but we haven't gotten one for like regular sims. And that one is like so cute that they're going to be adding. So yeah, they're also going to be adding a ton of like clutter for infants and baby stuff and things like that, like rugs and, you know, toys. They're adding toys that have actual like audio tied to them, so they're kind of like sensory development type toys. They're adding playpens. So playpens aren't actually an object that your Sims can place down. They're actually fences, like small fences and gates that you can build, and then like you can build them inside, outside, wherever, and then you can baby proof the gate. So it's like an option under locking the gates. You can baby proof them, and that basically locks them for all toddlers and infants. And you can do that on the regular doors and gates as well, which that's really cool. But the fact that the playpen is a fence and a gate, it's cool in one sense, but also it's kind of annoying because fences are tied to the grid. So you can't place it on like half a tile or something like that, and placing them on diagonals is really annoying. So that's one thing that's kind of annoying to me, is the fact that it's not an object. But you know, it honestly, it's cool, but also it's kind of annoying to me personally. You'll have to let me know what your thoughts are about that. But yeah, so back to Creator Sim, they also obviously, infants will need traits, so they're giving infants 6 new traits, and they're so cute. I can't remember all of them, but they're like wiggly and intense and sunny and, you know, stuff like that. And those traits actually have an impact on how infants behave. So like infants that are, I think, like wiggly, for example, will have a harder time actually going to sleep because they're a little bit more energetic. They don't want to go to sleep. Whereas infants that are, you know, a little bit calmer will go to sleep a lot faster. And going off of that, you'll actually have to like soothe your infants to go to sleep. They're not just going to go to sleep on their own. You'll have to soothe them, and with that you can like upgrade the cribs to have little like mobiles on them, and that helps them go to sleep a little bit faster, which is also really cool. And then obviously they're adding a bunch of new birthmarks and freckles and stuff like that, and scars like stretch marks and cesarean scars to the base game. And they're also adding new ones to the new pack as well, so there's a lot more in the new pack. But yeah, then the only other like big thing that I think I want to mention is base game is the like science baby feature. Now this feature is kind of like it's kind of like you can like Basically, your Sims can have a science baby, and they don't have to have a romantic relationship with another Sim to have a baby with them, but they just need to be friends. So this is kind of if you want to tell a story where your Sims need IVF to get pregnant. So maybe they struggle to get pregnant, you can do it this way. Maybe you have a same-sex couple that want a child, and you can do it that way. Maybe you want to do like a surrogacy thing, and then you can use this feature for that. And that's really, really cool. I love the fact that they're including that. This is actually, I think, the first Sims game that's ever had something like that. And we have similar things with mods and stuff that I use personally, but having it in the game is so amazing, and I love that they're doing this. And then the other thing with that is it's, you know, an interaction that you can do, like social through your phone, whatever. It costs around 1,200 simoleons, if I remember correctly. And it's also instant, so your Sims won't go off and then come back pregnant, and then you'll have to play through the pregnancy. They'll go off to, you know, the appointment or whatever, and then they'll come home with the baby. It's like an instant thing because it's a science baby, basically. So that's really cool. And then, oh yeah, another thing with infants, really big, is the fact that they'll form like attachments to Sims. So basically, this is influenced by, you know, negative or positive attachments. So if your Sims take really good care of them and like really tend to their needs and stuff like that, they'll form positive attachments with Sims. And then based on whether they have a positive, a great, or a negative attachment, they'll actually age up with the happy, top-notch, or unhappy infant traits, which, you know, influence them as toddlers, which is really cool. And, you know, the higher your infant's attachment is with another Sim, the easier it will be to like socialize with them, get them to do things, teach them things, and, you know, stuff like that. The more trustful they'll be, or I think trustful is the word, right? But yeah, the more trusting they'll be of your Sim. And then you can also like give infants food in the high chairs. So it's like a whole interaction with giving them their first food in the high chair, and they'll have like different like reactions to different kinds of food, and those reactions are also influenced by the kinds of traits that they have. And it's so cool. There's so much that I obviously can't go over everything. We're like 23 minutes into this and I've only talked about the base game stuff. So yeah, there's so much. But yeah, so infants with like the high chairs, that's really, really cool. And then also high chairs will be getting an update. So your infants and toddlers will actually stay put in the high chairs, and they won't want to like leave every 2 seconds. So that's fantastic. Now, if you guys want to see any more of this information, like I said, I'll have a bunch of recap videos linked in the description. But over on my Twitter, if you go ahead, follow me over on Twitter, I also retweet a ton of things. So my Twitter timeline is like full of information about the new pack and the base game update and everything like that. So if you want to see more stuff, because I'm just gonna skip over the rest of the pack stuff, but if you want to see things more in detail, definitely go ahead, check out my Twitter. I also have a channel in my Discord server that's like leaks and speculation, where we talk about the new pack and what we're hoping for, what we've seen, you know, stuff like that. So definitely go ahead, go join the server, check out the channel. I'll also have a picture in that channel that I think I have it pinned, where I have the map world map view with all of the lot sizes on it as well. So yeah, if you want to see that, go check that out. But yeah, so moving on to the new pack. Basically, new pack for Creator Sim, more scars, freckles, inclusive things like that. They really try to focus on adding clothes for all ages, so they do have things for all ages. I saw some really cute things, especially for elders and infants. They're so cute. We finally have some like age appropriate elder clothing. There's also like some items across different ages that have matching patterns and like colors and stuff, so you can have like your family matching, which is really cool. And I believe they've also collabed with a professional hairstylist. I can't remember their name properly, but they collabed with someone to make sure that the hair textures and baby hairs and stuff look really good. And from what I saw in the stream, they definitely look great. Now, moving on to a couple of the really big things. I will not have time to talk about all of this, but I might actually take all of my notes and like copy paste them into that speculations channel that I have in my Discord, and I'll like make a thread of it, and then you can go and read through all of that if you want to. But basically, family dynamics, we already saw a lot of it, so I'm not going to go over it too much. But family dynamics, you can set them through Creator Sim, you can get them through gameplay as well, and obviously they influence how your Sims interact with each other, the moodlets that they get when they're around each other, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. They also carry like over to different households. Wow, okay, that thunder was so dang loud. But yeah, they also carry over through different households. So if you have family in a different household, then the family dynamics will still carry over to them. So that's really, really great. And the way that family dynamics pop up in game, they pop up like a little, almost like the parenthood pop-ups. They pop up and then you can either accept it or deny it. And a lot of these features like family dynamics, not memories, but like not memories, milestones, but family dynamics and the temporary visits and, you know, things like that, they're all optional. So if you don't want your Sims' family dynamics with each other to change through gameplay, if you've already set it in Creator Sim, you want to keep it that way, then you can just decline those gameplay prompts and it won't change. Same thing with the really, really, really awesome, what is it called again? It's like, what is it called? Self-discovery. The self-discovery system, where basically through gameplay your Sims can earn extra traits, which is so cool. So if you have a Sim it can also change your Sims' existing traits. So if you have a slob Sim that you have clean a lot, then you'll get a pop-up asking you if you want that Sim to stop being a slob and start being a neat Sim instead. Now, if that pops up, you can accept it or you can deny it, which is really, really great. Same thing if it's just an extra trait that your Sim wants to gain. You can decide if you want your Sim to have that extra trait, and your Sims can get up to 3 extra traits that way, so you'll have like a total of 6, which is fantastic. But yeah, and then obviously we have milestones, which I think a lot of people have probably covered to death. So like there's so much information out there about them. So I'm not going to go over them. Basically, milestones work like memories, and your Sims can actually look back on them, reflect on them, and that will give them moodlets and, you know, things like that. There's also a lot of like first type things. So for infants especially, their milestones actually influence what they can do on their own. So that's really, really cool. We'll obviously also be having the newborns. So with newborns, they'll be getting like outfits, so you can like change their outfits in the bassinet, which is really cute. I don't know if that's base game or part of the pack. I'm not exactly sure, but it's really cool either way. And then obviously we have social compatibility that's influenced by Sim characteristics and conversation topic preferences. Now these things you can set in Creator Sim, but also you can gain them through gameplay as well. And basically they're in like the same panel as likes and dislikes. And with that, they've also upped the amount of preferences that your Sims can have. So usually we can only have 20. But now we'll be able to have 50, which is incredible. And then also they have things like toddler and infant quirks that they can gain that will drastically change how they interact with each other, with other Sims, with their environment, the autonomous things that they'll choose to do. You can also cheat those things, but usually they'll like you can cheat those quirks, but usually they'll just gain them through gameplay. We have like obviously temporary stays, like temporary visits, so family, friends, stuff like that. They can come and stay with your Sims. It can last like between, I think, like 1 and 6 days. And obviously they all have interactions and like they can help around the house, stuff like that. And you can also schedule, like you can set up those temporary stays through the calendar. So it's not just a random thing. You can decide if you want family to come and stay with you. So that's great. But yeah, these are all just a couple of things. I've barely scratched the surface of all of this information. So like I said, check out the recap videos in the description. Check out my Discord and my Twitter because like I said, there's a ton more information on there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for all of the thunder and everything like that. But yeah, if you want to download the build, it is up on the gallery. All of that information is in the description as usual. Basically, today there's a ton of things in the description, so check it out. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell to be notified of whenever I upload. And yeah, hope you're all having a great day and I'll talk to you on my very next video. Bye everyone!